علي فيه قضاء وألزمني حكمك وبلاء، وقد أتيتك يا إلهي بعد تقصيري وإسرافي على نفسي، معتذرا نادما منكسرا مستقيلا، مستغفرا منيبا مقرا مذعنا معترفا، لا أجد مفرا مما كان مني ولا مفزعا أتوجه إليه في أمري غير قبولك عذري وإدخالك إياي في سعتي رحمتي. اللهم فاقبل عذري وارحم شدة ضري، وفكني من شدي وكربي. يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني، يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني، يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني.
ورقة جلدي ودقة عظمي، يا من بدأ خلقي وذكري وتربيتي وبري وتغذيتي، أبني لابتداء كرمك وسالفي برك لي. يا إلهي وسيدي وربي، أتراك معذبي بنارك بعد توحيدك، وبعد ما انطوى عليه قلبي من معرفتك، ولهج به لساني من ذكرك، واعتقده ضميري من حبك. وبعد صدق اعترافي ودعائي خاضعا لربوبيتك، هيهات أنت أكرم من أن تضيع من ربيته، أو تبعد من أدنيته، أو تشرد من آويته، أو تسلم إلى البلاء من كفيته ورحمته. وليت شعري يا سيدي وإلهي ومولاي أن تسلط النار على وجوه خرت لعظمتك ساجدا، وعلى ألسن نطقت بتوحيدك صادقا، وبشكرك مادحا، وعلى قلوب اعترفت بإلهيتك محققا، وعلى ضمائر حوت من العلم بك حتى صارت خاشعا، وعلى جوارح سعت إلى أوصال تعبدك طائعا، وأشارت باستغفارك وضعها. ما هكذا الظن بك، ولا أخبرنا بفضلك عنك يا كريم. يا رب وأنت تعلم ضعفي عن قليل من بلاء الدنيا وعقوباتها، وما يجري فيها من المكاره على أهلها، على أن ذلك بلاء ومكروه، قليل مكتوب، يسير مقامه، قصير مدته. فكيف احتمالي لبلاء الآخرة وجليل وقوع المكاره فيها، وهو بلاء تطول مدته ويدوم مقامه، ولا يخفف عن أهله، بأنه لا يكون إلا عن غضبك وانتقامك وسخطك. وهذا ما لا تقوم له السماوات والأرض يا سيدي، فكيف بي وأنا عبدك الضعيف الذليل الحقير المسكين المستكين. يا إلهي وربي وسيدي ومولاي، لأي الأمور إليك أشكو، ولما منها ضج وأبكي، لأليم العذاب وشدته أم لطول البلاء ومدته؟ فلئن صيرتني للعقوبات مع أعدائك وجمعت بيني وبين أهل بلائك وفرقت بيني وبين أحبائك وأوليائك، فهب لي يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي وربي، صبرت على عذابك فكيف أصبر على فراقك؟ وهب لي صبرت على حر نارك فكيف أصبر عن النظر إلى كرامتك؟ أم كيف أسكن في النار ورجائي عفوك؟ فبعزتك يا سيدي ومولاي أقسم صادقا، لئن تركتني ناطقا لأضجن إليك بين أهلها ضجيج الآملين، ولأصرخن إليك صراخ المستصرخين، ولأبكين عليك بكاء الفاقدين، ولأنادينك أين كنت يا ولي المؤمنين، يا غاية آمال العالمين،
يا غياث المستغيثين، يا غياث المستغيثين، يا غياث المستغيثين،
يا حبيب قلوب الصادقين، ويا إله العالمين، أفتراك سبحانك يا إلهي وبحمدك تسمع فيها صوت عبد مسلم سجن فيها بمخالفته وذاق طعم عذابها بمعصيته، وحبس بين أطباقها بجرمه وجريرته، وهو يضج إليك ضجيج مؤذن لرحمتك، ويناديك بلسان أهل توحيدك، ويتوسل إليك بربوبيتك. يا مولاي، فكيف يبقى في العذاب وهو يرجو ما سلف من حلمك؟ أم كيف تؤلمه النار وهو يأمل فضلك ورحمتك؟ أم كيف يحرقه لهيبها وأنت تسمع صوته وترى مكانه؟ أم كيف يشتمل عليه زفيرها وأنت تعلم ضعفه؟ أم كيف يتقلقل بين أطباقها وأنت تعلم صدقه؟ أم كيف تزجره زبانيتها وهو يناديك يا رباه؟ أم كيف يرجو فضلك في عتقه منها فتتركه فيها؟ هيهات ما ذلك الظن بك ولا المعروف من فضلك ولا مشبه لما عاملت به الموحدين من برك وإحسانك، فباليقين أقطع لولا ما حكمت به من تعذيب جاحدين وقضيت به من إخلال معاندين لجعلت النار كلها بردا وسلاما، وما كان لأحد فيها وقرا ولا مقاما، لكنك تقدست أسماؤك أقسمت أن تملأها من الكافرين من الجنة والناس أجمعين، وأن تخلد فيها المعاندين، وأنت جل ثناؤك قلت مبتدئا وتطولت بالإنعام متكرما، أفمن كان مؤمنا كمن كان فاسقا لا يستوون. إلهي وسيدي، فأسألك بالقدرة التي قدرتها وبالقضية التي حكمتها وحكمتها وغلبت من عليه أجريتها أن تهدني في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة كل جرم أجرمته وكل ذنب أذنبته وكل قبيح أسررته وكل جهل كتمته أو أعلنته، أخفيته أو أظهرته، وكل سيئة أمرت بإثباتها كراما كاتبين الذين وكلتهم بحفظ ما يكون مني، وجعلتهم شهودا علي مع جوارحي، وكنت أنت الرقيب علي من ورائهم والشاهد لما خفي عنهم، وبرحمتك أخفيته وبفضلك سترته، وأن توفر حظي من كل خير تنزله، أو إحسان تفضله، أو بر تنشره، أو رزق تبسطه، أو ذنب تغفره، أو خطأ تستره.
يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب.
يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي ومالك ربي، يا من بيده ناصيتي، يا عليما بضري ومسكنتي، يا خبيرا بفقري وفاقتي.
يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب.
أسألك بحقك وقدسك وأعظم صفاتك وأسمائك أن تجعل أوقاتي من الليل والنهار بذكرك معمورة، وبخدمتك موصولة، وأعمالي عندك مقبولة، حتى تكون أعمالي وأورادي كلها وردا واحدا، وحالي في خدمتك سرمدا. يا سيدي يا من عليه معولي، يا من إليه شكوت أحوالي.
يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب.
قو على خدمتك جوارحي، واشدد على العزيمة جوانحي، وهب لي الجد في خشيتك والدوام في الاتصال بخدمتك، حتى أسرع إليك في ميادين السابقين، وأسرع إليك في البارزين، وأشتاق إلى قربك في المشتاقين، وأدنو منك دنو المخلصين، وأخافك مخافة الموقنين، واجتمع في جوارك مع المؤمنين. اللهم ومن أرادنا بسوء فاعله، ومن كادنا فكره، واجعلني من أحسن عبيدك نصيبا عندك، وأقربهم منزلة منك، وأخصهم زلفة لديك، فإنه لا ينال ذلك إلا بفضلك وجودي بجودك، واعطف علي بمجدك، واحفظني برحمتك، واجعل لساني بذكرك لهجا، وقلبي بحبك متيما، ومن علي بحسن إجابتك، وأقلني عثرتي، واغفر زلتي، فإنك قضيت على عبادك بعبادتك، وأمرتهم بدعائك، وضمنت لهم الإجابة. فإليك يا ربي نصبت وجهي، وإليك يا ربي مددت يدي، فبعزتك استجب لي دعائي، وبلغني مناي، ولا تقطع من فضلك رجائي، واكفني شر الجن والإنس من أعدائي.
يا سريع الرضا يا سريع الرضا يا سريع الرضا.
اغفر لمن لا يملك إنك فعال لما تشاء يا اسمه دواء وذكره شفاء وطاعته غنى ترحم مرضى سؤالنا الرجاء وسلاحه البكاء يا سابغ النعام يا دافع النقام يا نور المستوحشين في الظلام يا عالما لا يعلم صل على محمد وآل محمد وافعل به ما أنت أهله وصلى الله على رسوله والأئمة الميامين من آله وسلم تسليما كثيرا.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى.
Because this is a very important day and time. I urge all of you, please, not because I am talking, because what is going to be shown to you is very important. Once a year, we do this Eid. Let's pay respect to the Eid of mubahala, the personality we're going to be talking about. They are our ticket to salvation. They are our ticket to our paradise. Don't make any mistake. Each one of us will be responsible. On Yawm al-Hashr, each one will be standing on their own. Iqra bi kitabik, read your book. I'm afraid. And I certainly hope for the sake of Ahlul Bayt and our deen, we pay attention. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ومولانا حبيب قلوبنا أبي القاسم محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وأهل بيت الطيبين والطاهرين. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه المجيد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا ما كنا نهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are here because Allah told us to be here. Don't be under the illusion that you came here. I'm talking about myself. Allah allowed me to come here and be part of His academy. I'm very fortunate. So inshallah, let's go and look at this great occasion. We can learn from it. Every time I look at the mubahala, Eid al-Ghadir, I learn from it. Every time I go to it, there's something new. Because this is what Islam is all about. If you open up doors of your heart, if you open your heart, you have to be sincere, you have to be seeking, and you have to be hardworking. Now, if you don't want to do any of these, don't expect anything from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of real quality. Because He says, I want you to work and toil towards me. So let's see what happened in the 9th year of Hijrah. I'm just repeating the history for those who do not know. Those who know, it's a repetition. I don't mind this repetition again and again and again. 9th year of Hijrah. This is a very, very important event. We must take this personally. I take this personally. Otherwise, what is my connection with the Ahlul Bayt? What is my connection to Quran? What is my connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if I don't follow these footsteps? They are looking for one and only one thing, the truth. It's very, very difficult, believe me. If you ask all of you here, including me, what is the truth, we get all different answers. But there is only one correct answer, which is Quran. There is only one correct answer. Don't make a mistake. No nationality, no color of skin, no nothing. Only Quran will decide what the haqq is. This is what it's all about the haqq. This is a presentation of some historical background quickly for those who don't know. What is the event of mubahala? Invitation to the Christians. Now this invitation, we all must accept. It didn't happen 14 centuries ago, it can happen tomorrow. All of us are involved. We are ambassadors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should act like one. What's wrong with, I'm talking about myself again. I feel time is running away. Before I know, I'm gone. I have to select some valuable thing for my future. That bank account up there, that'll give me a ticket. The verse of mubahala. Number 4, Rasul chose. Now I'll get into that. He chose people. Then significance and importance. My dear Sheikh has asked me to look at the significant Sheikh. So I did do some research on that part. I wish you can see, you're only seeing my side, the little sort of innovation. I hope you'll be able to see this also. Can you give him a big salawat for him, please?
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Number 6, lessons learned. Everything in the Quran is a dars for all of us. So, yeah, this is all us. For every human being, for every believer, for every moment, for every muttaqi. He decides what grade you are in. I don't decide, we don't decide. Allah decides. So now, this is going to be continuing very, very quickly historical background. It's very important to understand that Najran, which is Yemen now, was a very fertile land, very green. It had a lot of historical culture in there. And I mean, it's a beautiful place. There are 40,000 Christians inhabited the land. And this you're talking about 14 centuries ago. But they were idol worshippers, like Arabs of that time, Jahiliyyah. I don't mean to insult any one of you here. Jahiliyyah I'm talking about. So now, Najran became a very important center for Christian. The emperor of Rome wanted to build a Kaaba in Yemen, in Najran, and finish off the Kaaba in Mecca. They constructed church and named it Kaaba in Najran. See, I was just telling you that. This is a competition, and it hasn't finished. I'm telling you now, it's undercover. It's there. Battle is between Islam's growing population and the Christianity. Christianity is now becoming number 2 in the world in number of people. Growth, simple growth. There are more and more and more, and Muslims are growing in the world. And the Christians, the biggest part of them is Roman Catholics. They are all going down. Muslims are growing. So those who are young, I say, have more children. Subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you learn. They prayed and offered various offerings. The conquest of Makkah by Muslims, when Rasulullah went for Hajjatul Wada, he had conquered Makkah without drop of blood. He forgave everybody. We have to learn every step of Islamic history. There is a lesson for you and me here today. When Rasulullah marched into Makkah, the Kuffar Quraysh, he forgave everybody. Abu Sufyan, his wife, everybody, he forgave. Shows his generosity because he is Rahmatul lil Alamin. And I can't even forget somebody who, does something wrong to me. The first thing is, you out of your rocker. Don't do this to me. Then you have, after the conquest of Makkah, Islam was spreading. In the last year of Rasul's life, Islam has gone towards Yemen, Iraq, Syria, everywhere, Africa. Rasulullah has set up a grander plan. Seeds were all over around. And the seeds are still growing. In 10th Hijrah, Christians of Najran, they wanted to have a debate, a dialogue. The whole thing was that the growing empire of Roman Catholicism, they wanted to grow, and Islam was the hurdle. Islam was the hurdle. They wanted to conquer Arabia, conquer Kaaba. They want to conquer and have a trinity, have Roman Catholicism. So this is the picture you can see. This is the old picture. It's not look like now the Najran, and this is very old Madinah. Just an idea we have looking at 14 centuries ago. And there's another one, the distances between all the places. The history has changed, the countries have changed, the borders have changed. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Islam remains Islam, steadfast. And you know what funny thing is? Islam is growing in the poor countries the fastest. In the poor countries, the fastest. I mean, the rate of conversion in the poor countries is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. See, they have carved houses. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful. This is 14 centuries ago. And they're still there. The Romans are still there. Okay, let's continue. Just a little more on history. Christian monk heads to Medina. They come to Medina. And one thing I like is that they have a strategy. They don't do things haphazard. Today I find, I don't know, but a lot of Muslim countries and people, they think haphazard. Because I'm Muslim, I'll go to paradise. You're wrong, I'm right. It doesn't work that way. You don't decide. Nobody decides. He says, Ahkam al-Hakimi. I'm the one. I'll decide for you, all of you. No one decides for anybody. So now, we continue. The Christians finally decided to send a mission to conquer. They did not send an army. You know, Abraham came, he lost, he ran away. During the time of Abdul Muttalib. Now, they said, okay, let's send a delegation. Think of how clever this is. This still goes on. Do you remember any one of you a few months ago, the highest ranking Pope of Roman Catholic, you know where he went? He went to Iraq. He went to see Sistani. Because Sistani, to me, is a real, true moment of Allah. May Allah give him a long life. In true sense. The delegation came, Al-Aqib and Abu al-Harith. These were the two leading guys. Now you see, they send the best. When you want to conquer somebody in debate, you choose the best one. Here we can't even decide in Muslim world whether is it from Iran or Saudi Arabia, or is it Pakistan or from India or Iraq or wherever it is. Because everybody thinks they have a flag. I'm not being facetious. I'm just being pragmatic. Harith, regarded the greatest bishop, scholar of Christian. When the delegation came to Medina, typically even now, you know, these Roman Catholics wear big robes, colorful robes. Very big, colorful robes. Even now, when you see the bishops and cardinals, they wear very, very fancy cloaks. They have bells and they have all these, you know, kinds of fancy things. And what happened then? When they entered the Masjid al-Nabawi, Rasulullah looked at them, precious stone, gold, silk clothes they were wearing. He turned away and went back. How can he condone what is not allowed in Islam? Nabi Muhammad just turned away. He says, not another person. If he endorses them in that, that means it's allowable. Sunnat Nabi. It's okay to wear silk, to gold. He didn't want to get that. He was so sensitive to the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. After a while, no one noticed their pomp and show. Rasul didn't pay any attention to them at all. He just ignored them completely. He left the mosque and met Uthman ibn Affan. And then Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, and they decided, Uthman decided, the one and only, to go to his Ali ibn Abi. Now, I wish that, you know, Uthman could have remembered this later on when the Khilafat was decided, to call Ali first. But it didn't happen. So now he said, well, you know, Ali is the only answer. Ali is the only one whom Rasul will listen to. Because there was a trust between the teacher and the student. When the delegation came to Ali ibn Abi Talib, they were wearing the same thing, big robe, silk, gold, all of that. He said, he's not going to beat you like this. Very simple. Because he knew Islam well. He knew Muhammad like nobody else would know. Only then the Prophet allowed them to visit him and entertain them. When they change on, because once you endorse, he is the head of Islamic world. If he endorses silk, gold is allowed, well, they say, yeah, Rasul did it. No. Rasul is very, 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 very wise. Up to now. When they followed the instructions, they were allowed to visit Rasulullah. The mubahala. The word mubahala is, in the old days, I don't know now, they used to fight war like Quraysh and Nabi's forces. They would fight with wars, with lances, swords. But this mubahala is another kind of debate. You bring your best, I bring my best. And we will ask God to curse whoever is a liar. It's not fight with the sword. It's not fight with the lances. It's a fight of cursing. Whosoever is liar. The Christian came with their best intelligent, informed minds. There's Rasulullah. And see what happens now. Abbas al-Kumayl, he explains the same thing, and then they asked to pray in the Masjid al-Nabawi. And this is a very strange phenomenon. Rasul allowed them to do their Christian prayer in the Masjid al-Nabawi. That was his hikmah of the time. I cannot comment on that. That was his hikmah of the time. To what do you call, they asked Muhammad. The dialogue began. He said, Muhammad, what do you call us to? What is it you want us to become? Does anybody know the answer? What is Rasul inviting to? One and only message. Every Nabi had Tawheed. There is only one God. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. That was the message of every Nabi, every Rasul. Tawheed, Tawheed, Tawheed. So that there is bear witness that Allah is, and I'm the messenger of Allah, and He created me as a slave. I eat, I drink, and I have sorrows and pains, and I live like a human being. I am a human being. They said, who was the father of Isa alayhi salam? That's where the debate was. Who was the father of Isa alayhi salam? Now, you can see where these people were going with the mind. Rasul didn't reply. He didn't reply immediately. He was waiting for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to inform him. Ibrahim comes and says, "Oh Muhammad, now this is what is coming through. Say to them, what did you say about Adam? If Isa is the son of God because he didn't have a father, Adam didn't have a father, neither the mother. He has a better right to be the son of God." It's an answer Allah gave. It's recorded in the Quran. So the Prophet asked them, yes, he says, who was the father of Adam alayhi salam? And the ayah is there. And it's very simple, very powerful. If logic, any Christian uses the logic, they say Isa is the son of God because he had no father. Well, wait, time out. If having no father makes you a son of God, then Adam has a better right because he had no mother either. Allah created him from nothing. Allah created Isa from his mother, Maryam. These are the very important aspects of our deen. He says, Allah created him, Adam, from dust. Then he said, kun fayakun, and that's what the Quran says. The Christians did not answer who was the father of Adam. And this is where Allah sent the command. Allah is looking at the hearts of the Christians. He knows what's in their minds. He knows. He's Al-Alim. So he said, okay, Muhammad, arrange for a mubahala. Invitation to the Christians to do the mubahala. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
anyone agree, anyone argue with you concerning the knowledge, here it is. And everybody knows this ayah. I mean, this is Quran confirming the event of mubahala. It's not a hadith, it's not a history, it's not a recollection, it's Quran. Al Imran. And say to them, say to him, after the knowledge has come, they did not accept the argument of Adam having no father. He should be the son of God. They did not have any answer. They were stubborn. Come, let us summon. This is Allah's command. We must obey and accept, all Muslims. Quran is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Regardless of whether you are a certain sect, it doesn't matter. Quran is Quran. Quran is Quran. Our sons and your sons, we must prepare our children. Why? What is it saying? Our sons and your sons. Rasul, I mean, Allah is telling Muhammad, tell them, you bring your son, we bring our son. Allah has such a gift given to Rasulullah that he said, even your children I give you our gift. Tell them to bring their children. You take your children. And our woman, and your woman. How do we follow in the footsteps of these? Very difficult. Ourselves and yourself. Only 3 specific command by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Children, woman, and yourself. Now, Rasul is there. This is beautiful way of introducing. This is Allah's introduction to all Muslims, to all humans. And then, whosoever is a liar will be cursed forever. And this is mubahala, the contestation of mubahala. You and I sit down, you bring your son, I bring our son, you bring your woman, I come, you come, and we will pray, Allah, whoever is the liar of the 2, curse them forever. At least they had brains, those Christian scholars at that time. He said, so challenge, if I am telling the truth, the curse fall on you. And if I am a liar, the curse falls on me. You have been just. This is one of those things, very fair. He says, if I'm a liar, I'll be cursed. If you're a liar, you'll be cursed. So they accepted the fairness of this. They agreed, and that's what they call mubahala. Let me go and quick salat ala Muhammad ali Muhammad. Invitation, and then, okay, the leader, Sayyid Aqib. If the challenges, and this is very beautiful, pay attention to the history. The Christian among themselves, we are saying, if he challenges us with his people, we accept the challenge, for he is not a prophet. But if he challenges us with his family, in particular, we don't challenge him, for he is not going to put forward his family unless he is truthful. Look at the strategy, the wisdom. He didn't say, just bring people. The Christians are thinking, he says, if he's a liar, well, he, his children, his woman, all of them will suffer. But not his nation. Not his nation. He said, if he brings his family, watch out. Watch out. Be careful. And look how the strategy is working. Muslim scholars' view. The following conclusions have been recorded. The seriousness of the occasion demanded absolute purity, physical as well as spiritual, to take part in the fateful event. It's not just the wudu, it's not just the ghusl, purity of the heart, tazkiyah and nafs. These 5 present the best of the best of the best of all times. Only the best of Allah's creation were selected. And think of it, did Muhammad choose? No. The Quran chose Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala introducing the debate to us. He is introducing, Allah is introducing through Muhammad. Beyond doubt about the purity, truthfulness of life, nobody should question after this event, which is recorded in the Quran and the history. To say that any ayatullah, that something was wrong with Muhammad. When he was a man, he made mistakes, but he was a Rasul, he was a Rasul. No. Muhammad was born pure, then pure. Ali was born pure, Sayyidah was born pure, Hassan was born pure, they remain pure, period. That's our faith. That's my faith. Because it's attestation. Confirm. Okay. Number 4, Prophet chooses Muslim delegation from Mubahala. And I just talked to you about, now one of the things they say in the history, when this debate started, in the Masjid al-Nabi, a lot of Sahabis were getting ready. Maybe we'll get a chance to read the Anfusahum. It's recorded in the history. Everybody, all the Sahabas, they saw this to be a remarkable event because the ayat of the Quran has come. With that, they say that, well, maybe we'll get a chance. Maybe, Ya Rasulullah, maybe they put on a new clothes, whatever it is. They were ready to be selected. Muhammad didn't make the selection. Allah had already made the selection. That's the difference. At an appropriate time, a huge crowd standing in wait saw the Rasulullah. And this is 10th year of Hijrah. Rasul's wives were alive. Others were alive. All the Sahabis were alive, the first and the second and the third. All the Khalifas were there. Their daughters were there. But Allah chose who? One lady. And her 2 sons. Imam Hussein is armed, Imam Hassan holding the index finger, walking is beside him, Lady Fatima behind, and this is the order of the ayah. Hussein is armed, is holding the finger of Al-Hassan. Sayyidah behind. Ali ibn Abi Talib. Now, whosoever denies Ali is a Nafs Rasul is denying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Salawat.
Allah chose these 5. Allah chose these 5. For their purity, Allah had put in them. The Holy Prophet was based on truthfulness of these personalities. And my Lord, these are my Ahlul Bayt. He's introducing Innama yuridullah. Everybody knows that. Okay, let's continue. There is one more part after this. Christian scholars on the day of Mubahala, the chief monk looked up and down. This is in the history. When Rasulullah came to the site of Mubahala, he told Salman al-Farsi, he said, Salman, under the tree, just take the sheet, just clean the dust, put the sheet, I'll come there. Salman, under the shade of a tree, he goes there, not wearing fancy clothes, bells and gold and whatever. Simple dishdashers. He went there under the tree and he sat with his 2 children, with his daughter, and with the son-in-law. And when the chief monk looked at the faces, he was puzzled. He was shaken up completely. From whom emanated a radiance and brilliant glow, and this sight filled him with awe and anguish. I find very difficult, even Muslim cannot see this, the personality of these 5, but Allah is introducing. The Christian saw it. Immediately he cried out. He said, "My Jesus of Nazareth, I see faces that if they turn upward to the heaven and pray, the mountains shall move." Allahu Akbar. This is in the history. That I look at 5 faces. If they pray to God, this is non-Muslim. Looking at these 5 faces saying, I see faces. If they pray to God to move mountains, Allahu Akbar, the awe of these 5. Believers of Jesus of Nazareth, I tell you the truth. Should you fall to come to some agreement with Muhammad, he, along with his godly soul with him, shall wipe out your existence. You have to surrender in the mubahala. He will wipe out. The Christians saw the wisdom of their chief and readily agreed to a settlement with the Prophet. I'm almost close, maybe 2 more slides. The significance and importance. Muslim scholars have identified the following significance of this event. By the way, you can go on looking at it and still find something new. It's like an evergreen tree. Evergreen, ever. It proved to be a silencing lesson for all the Christians of Arabia who no longer dared competition with the Holy Prophet. It sent a signal because they sent the best. They chose best of the 40 scholars from Najran. Best. When they came, they knew the Torah and the Injil, and they came to contest. They could not stand up to these five chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The invitation of mubahala was directed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let there be no doubt, because it's a Quranic ayah, Qul ta'alu. Muhammad didn't say that. It was said by God. His Allah, our Allah, our God. The indispensability for Ali, Fatima, Al-Hasan al-Hussein shows that this event established who members of the Prophet's household are. Yeah. Let there be no doubt. This is from Quran, authentic history books. While very young, Imam Hassan and Hussein served as the active partners of the Holy Prophet in the field of mubahala. Why? People say, well, they were 5 years old, 6 years old. Well, Yahya was just young. I said, I cannot persevere. I gave him the book when he was only a child. So Allah can give to anybody He likes. Allah can give to anybody He likes. Conclusion, I will continue, go really quick to the next slide. And I want all of you to search, including myself, what do I get out of this mubahala? Oh, I'm going to wait for a year and say, the mubahala is here, we go there and do this, do this, do this. I'm already learning the deeper, the sense of this story. Every human being is given the faculty to seek and find. We will be asked on the merit of my basis, your basis, everybody. Allah said, I gave you an akal, I gave you ilm, I gave you this, I gave you this. All right, come on, answer me. Well, Allah, I prayed, but I had business, I had education, I had this, I had children, I had. That's the story I have. I don't know about any one of you. The truth, believe me, and that's what it is all about. That's what Imam Ali said. You find the truth, it will relieve you. Find the truth. And that's the struggle I have. How to get to the truth. It's very difficult. Doable? Yes. Allah will reward me for my sincere effort. Allah in His infinite wisdom has provided the faculty of thinking to all humans. He says, I gave you the best gift to all of us, al-aql. And that's why you're going to pull the aql and say, what did you do to come to me with your aql? Oh, well, I was whatever. Your aql has to find your way back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Use the right tools. This is very important, and I'll tell you very quickly. There was a Christian lady who became a Muslim Shia. She came from a very religious Christian family, very religious. And someday, one of her friends gave her the Quran to read, and that changed her completely. Because she said, this is the same story as the Bible, but they are more loftier, more succinct, more clear, more deeper, more spiritual. So she became a Muslim Shia. One thing I just want to share with you one thing she said that really impressed me. And she went to Iran, learned Arabic. I don't know her name yet now. But she went to Iran, learned Arabic, became a scholar, and among the scholars, she became an editor, translator of the Tafsir al-Quran. I think it's called Enlightenment of the Quran. It's there available. One thing she said really touched me. She said, my father taught me as a Christian that, dear daughter, whenever you take a task, make sure you have proper tools. Whenever you take a task, have proper tools. Okay, let me get out. Seek, find, leave, learn from the people of wisdom. I just finished a research on Ulul Albab, Al-Quran and Ulul Albab. I'm puzzled. Allah is calling certain people Ulul Albab. There are 16 ayahs on that. I went through each ayah and I feel ashamed that I won't even get near it. They are adaptable. They understand limits. Hudud Allah. They love teaching. They have self-control. That's enough. They are open-minded. Listen. Rasulullah listened to the Christians. Allah gave him the arguments. They have good instincts. They are chosen by Allah to teach. I'm talking about the 5 infallibles. They are Rasulullah and Ali and Fatima and Hassan and Hussein.
اللهم صل على